The future of the WWE is upon us, and at NXT, our evolution, Takeover, our evolution, whatever they're calling. What's this one called? These two men, I think, are absolutely going to steal the show. I missed the last episode of NXT because I was at the bar live. I went home and I went to watch that last episode. And the promo package that played, the last 5-minute package that ended the show between Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, made me realize that you don't need anything fancy. You don't need anything crazy. It was just pure, simple storyline, bringing up the history, the past between these two. And I've said that before. It makes for a really simple storyline. Now, obviously, a lot of these guys, it's not going to work forever. It's not always going to be your go-to thing, like when these indie guys come in to have it as a story. But if you guys don't watch NXT, you've never heard of NXT, you don't watch any of the pay-per-views, I highly suggest you tune in on the 11th on the WWE Network. Borrow a friend's account. Get the account. Whatever you have to do. I'm pretty sure this pay-per-view is going to be better than Fastlane coming up. So when I preach that this is going to be the future of the WWE, even Triple H, obviously that's Triple H's baby. He's going to promote it. He's going to say whatever. Talk is talk as a promoter. But honestly, let's look at the card. We have Charlotte versus Sasha Banks, Bayley, and Becky Lynch in a Fatal 4-Way Divas match. Becky Lynch has been doing really good. Bayley, there's a more aggressive side of Bayley that we haven't got to see. We have new tag team champions in Murphy and Blake, or are they calling them Buddy and Wesley now? I can't remember if they're using their first or their last names. They came out of nowhere. I thought they were a complete jobber tag team, and then their new entrance, their new theme, I get behind them, and I think they're pretty awesome. They beat the Lucha Dragons, Kalisto and Sin Cara. There's been words about Kalisto getting repackaged. The officials denied the report about him getting repackaged to a gay hairstylist, and he's going to stay the same. You have Adrian Neville versus Finn Balor, and then you have Baron Corbin versus Bull Dempsey. Now, there's only 5 matches on the card. I'm sure a match or two will get added. I think Tyler Breeze versus Hideo Itami got added to the card because of the attack. But, other than that, the Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens match I think is going to go on for a long time. I think it's going to be a very, very good match. And, we've debated on who would win. And at this point, I don't know if I'm making my predictions necessarily because I am so enamored with it. I don't want to make predictions. If you haven't watched the promo video, I might link it in the comment section below. You've got to watch it, guys. You have to understand why people rave and just brag about NXT all the time. Now, whether or not these guys and these stories would carry over to the main roster, because I think a lot of the main roster people that watch the show may not necessarily really care about the indies or their past or things like that, because I don't want to call people simpletons, but it may I wouldn't say that it would go over their head either, but I don't know if people would really get the whole personal touch as far as the little kids and maybe the older people. But the package itself was so touching. I was sitting there, I'm like, why can't WWE be like this? Like, honestly, we know that WWE, the main show, is pretty much because of Triple H for NXT, and then the main WWE show is all Vince McMahon. It's like he said on the interview, he's like, Vince will make the decision, and then we're responsible for booking. We have to make it happen. But Vince is like, oh, these two guys, that's who I want. Book that. And then it's on them to book it. Versus NXT, like he said, he's more lax with the guys. He lets them go out there and have a little bit more fun, and it shows through. Now, what has happened down in NXT, some of the guys that get called up don't necessarily work, but either one of these guys, just on the wrestling technique alone, and Kevin Owens, I was a little worried about his speaking ability. I hate to say that because I may not have the best speaking ability either, but I was a little nervous him coming into WWE from some of the promos I used to watch of him, but he's killed it. Same thing with Sami Zayn. Like, once he realized that he was suckering him in and he was never going to sign for the non-title match and he was always there for the title match, it made me clamor to be a wrestling fan where I don't even care. I don't want to make predictions. I just want to watch them do what they do, and I want to watch them steal the show and go out there and prove to the WWE Universe why these are two of the best, if not the two best wrestlers in the company. Obviously, you got Daniel Bryan and other guys, Seth Rollins. You got some very, very good talent, but I think they're going to go out there and prove to everybody why they are the future of the WWE and what they can bring to the table. I don't know if it's going to end clean. I don't know exactly how things are going to work, but I think this is not the end of them. And if I was me and if I was Triple H, I would book it so these two could face at WrestleMania, because these two deserve to be seen by more people than just on the WWE Network. So I say let them go to Mania. Let these two prove to the world why NXT and why these two guys are the future of the WWE.